And at long last, we're here with the start of the Diecast Wars. This is Group A. So the 32 drivers from qualifiers have now all been randomly assigned into 8 different groups. Each group, 4 drivers are going to compete in a round-robin tournament going head-to-head. And then the top 2 drivers from each group will advance into the next stage of the competition, and this is now where it really heats up. I can't wait to see which one of these drivers today are going to go through. Group A is a nasty group, but you're going to understand why in just a second. So Dan Herman in the Roger Dodger representing the USA, and Bernunda Hills never ever really done well here on this channel, but is his luck beginning to turn? Well, only time's going to tell, and I've got great faith in the Roger Dodger. Tom Marshall in the McLaren F1 GTR. I'd love to see this car do really, really well, representing England, and he's got his own team. It's the BTE Racing Team. Don't know why he's named it that. Probably there was something reason why he works there. Rachel Prince representing England in the Mercedes AMG GT. This car has always done well and is looking to keep up that record of always coming in the top 6. Rachel Prince, what always one to look out for, and I can't wait to see it continue its streak. And then last but not least for this episode, it's Matthew Harding for New Zealand in the Custom Otto. The original champion back in the day, and he's looking to go 2 for 2 on original tournament, representing WCDC Wild Racing. I've probably got the team name wrong again, but I don't really care. I prefer the name. So the first round for the round 1 will be Matthew Harding versus Daniel Herman. What a lineup for the first round of the group stages. Not who you wanted to see going into the first leg, let's face it. These two have known about each other, but I don't think they've ever actually met on the track here at this channel. But they're off, and they're over the jump. Dan Herman with the better start, and he's away. We've had a bit of a re-layout, so we've removed the back end of the track, and we've moved the garages over to form like a parc-fermé type area. Still in early development, but you can get the idea as we're playing around with ideas. As the episodes go on, you're going to see what we're toying with. Anyway, as we go on, and Matthew Harding with a beautiful start there, overtake on Dan Herman, and he's away to make it 1-1. You can see the other 2 drivers of the groups there in the parc-fermé, and of course, the other drivers for the group stages sitting there patiently waiting, watching to see what goes on. And as the episodes now dwindle, you'll notice that car park will get emptier and emptier as the groups go by. Moving on now into leg 3, and it is currently 1-1. Both do the jump perfectly again. Dan Herman out in front, and he's going to make it 2-1. Tell you what level of talent we've got going into Group A. Literally 4 big names from our past all going at it, and I can't wait to see which 2 go through. It's going to be a shame to lose any of these 4 drivers, to be fair. But anyway, on to leg 4 now. Now, how the group stages works, it's 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and 0 points for a loss on the table, which works out who goes through and who doesn't. And obviously with the ranking system, you get a point for every leg you win, and you get 3 points for a match win. So both of these drivers will go away with 3 points there. That's for the ranking system anyway. Anyway, moving on now into the next stage of the competition for round 1, it's Rachel Prince versus Tom Marshall. 2 awesome cars that I can't wait to see. Rachel, don't ever count that Mercedes out. Dominated her qualifying stage, and Tom Marshall with the better start. Rachel Prince slowing down. We've never seen her slow down before. Tom crosses the line, and Rachel in second. Look at this. Beautiful jump there by Tom Marshall. Making it look all too easy. Yeah, the ranking system, more to be explained after this tournament, and you'll understand why at that point. So just keep watching the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. Rachel Prince with the better start, but Tom with the mid-air overtake. Rachel comes off the track, and Tom makes it 2-0. Look at this. What an overtake. Rachel getting her wheels stuck, nearly going over, but with assistance there from one of the drivers in the car park. Look at this mid-air overtake from Tom Marshall. And around. So all those saying that, oh, if you start on the inside, you've got the advantage. You've just seen there from Tom Marshall. No, you don't. And Mark Edgerton was the driver that helped Rachel stay on her wheels there. Oh, lovely little bit of sportsmanship from down there in the car park. But Rachel Prince will be kicking herself, because that means she's now 2-0 down. All Tom's got to do now is cross the line, and he's got the inside line advantage. So away we go, and here we go over the jump, and Tom Marshall with the better start. Rachel with a bump. And it's 3-0 for Tom Marshall, so that will be 3 points on the table for the group stages. It'll be 3 points, it'll be 6 points he's got overall there. But can he go for a clean sweep? That's where you wipe your opponent 4-0. Rachel with the better start, Tom with a delayed start reversing, and look at that, another decent mid-air overtake, and it's a clean sweep for Tom Marshall. And Rachel Prince struggles to even make it to the finish line. Has that car at long last got mechanical issues here on this Diecast channel? Look at this, Tom Marshall seeing his opportunity, jumps, overtakes, and leaves Rachel Prince in the dirt. But it's round 2 and Tom Marshall doesn't get a break. He's going straight up against Matthew Harding. That 4-0 clean sweep is surely going to put Tom in a good mood. It can put me in a good mood if my Audi can do that. But here we go, away. And what a start from Matthew Harding, leaving Tom in the dirt. And it's going to be 1-0 for Matthew Harding. From going from a clean sweep to being caught snoozing, Matthew Harding is showing Tom Marshall why he's an ex-champion on this Diecast channel. As we go on to leg 2, Matthew Harding's going to be wanting to do it 2 for 2, and he does! What lightning quick reflexes he's got, and it's 2-0. What an overtake and what a slam of the door for Matthew Harding. Look at this! Matthew Harding, all that talent in that custom auto. It's not one to ever be ruled out of any competition here on this Diecast channel. Always doing well. Always the one that we watch out for. And look at this, with the overtake and the slam of the door, Tom Marshall's got no chance. Tries to change lanes, but it's too little too late. It's leg 3. Tom can only walk away with a draw now if he really wanted. And we're away, and Matthew Harding's reflexes at the moment is unbeatable. And what's this? What? Whoa, Matthew. I've got a feeling that the Marshalls are going to be coming down. Look at this. He does the strip. He does a drift, messes up his run, and prevents Tom from crossing the line. That's dirty play there, Matthew. I think the Marshalls are going to ask for a rerun. You get shown the yellow flag 3 times before you get penalised. But that's per episode. So it gets reset after every episode, and there, confirmation, there's the Marshall with the yellow flag. He does want a rerun. It's only fair. Matthew trying to block it there. There was no need for that, Matthew. So, leg 3 V2, so they do get to go down the track again. And they're off, and Matthew Harding's got the start routine sussed, and he nearly did it again. He does cross the line fairly this time, though. It's 3-0, so it's 3 points for Matthew Harding. Tom tried to catch up there right at the very end. It's such a shame, but is Matthew Harding going to go for the clean sweep that Tom did to Rachel? And they're off. Matthew Harding's got this locked down. Oh, and Tom! What was that, man? Look at this. He's normally nailed those jumps. Both drivers failing to nail him that time, though. Tom goes for a massive drift on his roof, and the safety car has been deployed. Luckily, it was leg 4 anyway, so that's as far as this round is going to go for these 2 drivers. Matthew Harding walking away with 3 points. Very dirtily, though. Moving on now to the second round of round 2. It's Daniel Herman versus Rachel Prince. Has Rachel sorted out that mechanical issue in that Mercedes? Well, only time's going to tell. Normally, this Mercedes is pretty dominant. 2 black cars going down the road, and they are off. And it's looking neck and neck. Rachel Prince out in front. I think she's solved those mechanical issues. It's a photo finish. But who crossed the line first? Look at this. Rachel's car is definitely not as powerful as it used to be. And I can't tell. It's Rachel Prince by a whisker, taking it 1-0. I think there's something wrong with that Mercedes. It did well in the qualies. It did well in this first half of round 1. And in round 2, it's feeling the pressure. I think she took 1 bump too many. And I think that Mercedes is now in real trouble here. Dan Herman sensing this. And he's going to bring it back to 1-1. Dan Herman has literally been handed a golden egg on a plate. This could be interesting for the guy who's never done well in the Roger Dodger. At long last, it looks like the Roger Dodger has been shown its day. And it looks like Dan Herman is going to take this Roger Dodger all the way to the bank and bank in them points at long last. And away we go over the jump. Both drivers do it. It's a slam of the door from the Roger Dodger. It's going to be 2-1. I think Rachel Prince is in real trouble here. She's always done well on this channel, and unfortunately it looks like it's going to end early. What a shock for one of the All-Stars. Dan Herman crossed the line, of course, he's one of the All-Stars as well. To be fair, 3 out of 4 drivers in this tournament class as an old All-Star. Tom Marshall desperately trying to make it those ranks. Maybe that's what the ranking system has something to do with. Only time's going to tell. And it's 3-1 for Dan Herman. I think Rachel's thrown in the towel there. I think she knows she's in real trouble. And her streak of always finishing in the top 6, I think, is going to come to an untimely end. But from left to right, it's Matthew Harding in first place currently, then Dan Herman, then Tom Marshall, and Rachel Prince sitting down in 4th. And it's going to be an easy 3 points here for Matthew Harding because Rachel Prince's car is in no stick fit race, but she's going to give it a go anyway. And that's dedication at its finest. And away we go, and look at that. Good reflexes there from Matthew Harding over the jump. And I think he's going to have whiffed it, and he has. He's on his roof. Rachel Prince has got an advantage here. She's got her wheel stuck, which is never ever good. But the rules do state if you end up on your roof, you have to sit a leg out. So this puts Rachel in prime opportunity if she can get her car across the line, of course. Remember, every leg really does count in group stages. It decides tie breaks, it decides everything. You'll see the table right at the very end of the rolling credits. But Rachel Prince on her own up there in the starting gate. She's getting ready and off she goes. She's got the speed, she's got the jump, and she's whiffed it, and she's on her roof herself. That car is in real trouble, and I think it's time that that car gets taken to the scrapyard in the sky, or more commonly known as Harry's Toy Box, because any cars that don't perform here get recycled and given to my son because he doesn't care if they're broken or not. Moving on now to leg 3, and now Matthew Harding sits up there alone. So he's been handed a golden egg himself over the jump and around the corner, and he nearly whiffs it, but it's going to be 1-0. Beautifully done, no competition needed. You can see Guido and Luigi there in Parferme desperately trying to get that Mercedes fixed. Now Rachel can potentially walk away here with 1 point on the group table, but Matthew Harding's got the advantage. Look at that, he knows, and he's done it again. That's the exact, Rachel looked like she was going to do it that time, and Matthew, the second time in an episode, has prevented another driver from crossing the line. And there is the second yellow flag. Now Matthew, if you are shown a third yellow flag, you will be penalised. We don't know what the penalised technically comes to at the moment, but don't do it a third time and then we won't have to find out. Anyway, on now with leg 4, V2. But Matthew with the better start this time. Is he going to keep it clean? He likes to drift in that car, but he takes it another win, and it's going to be 3 points for Matthew. Rachel, I don't think actually had any chance of making it out of the group stages at that point. But this is what it comes down to, because both of these drivers, I believe, currently sit on 3. I think Dan sits on 4, and Tom sits on 3. So Tom needs a win in this group if he's going to advance. Dan Herman would settle for a draw or a win, but he cannot settle for a loss. And what a lightning fast reflex there from Dan. Oh, but he's rolled it, and it's what Tom wanted to see. I think the pressure's gotten to Dan a little bit there. Tom with the clean overtake as Dan struggled with his car. I'm getting tongue-tied, people. And there's the Roger Dodger giving the shake of it, and there's the little thinglet. Unfortunately, without a doubt, it's not a super treasure hunt. I don't think I've ever actually seen a super treasure hunt of the Roger Dodger. I desperately tried to find it when it was in circulation, but could never find it. Anyway, over the jump for Tom, and around the corner, it's going to be 2-0 for Tom Marshall. Now, Tom can't settle for a draw, because Dan Herman will still go through if it's a draw. Tom needs to cross that line once more. Dan needs to make it a draw, and he'll be fine. And what a move from Dan, and Tom now really feeling the pressure as it cranks up. Tom, don't let the pressure get to you. Dan Herman, he's never done this well in mainline competition on this channel before. It comes down to leg 4, and what's it going to be? Dan with the jump, Dan with the corner. Tom desperately trying to get round, but Dan makes it a draw. So it does mean that Tom Marshall has been eliminated from the competition. Matthew Harding is our group winner, and Dan Herman is our group runner-up. Dan Herman, can you hear that all the way from Bernunda Hills in the US? He's jumping for joy because the Roger Dodger never does this well. But the final table as it stands there, as confirming what I said a moment ago, Rachel, no chance of getting through, unfortunately. But it does mean that the first 2 spots in the quarterfinals have been filled by Dan Herman and Matthew Harding. 16 spots available. And we still got 28 drivers to go down this track. And that was only Group A. This competition is filled with pure talent. And I cannot wait to see how the other 28 drivers do. And that was only Group A. I'm going to need a beer after that one. If anyone wants to send me some money for beer, you can at the following address. Send Rob some beer money at robneedsbeer@beer.co.uk. Anyway, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for everyone that's watching, and thank you to the admins to keep the channel going. Thank you to you, the viewer, that keeps me going. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, we've got our mojo back. The group stages are now and truly well underway. The Diecast Wars has begun. Only one driver can claim Diecast glory. Who's it going to be? Have you got a favourite, and are they still in? More to come on the next episode.